But let's start with the bread roll. If I can invite you just here in the corner of the kitchen, and you can stand everywhere where you like. A dough starts with flour, and it's never difficult. You obviously need milk. Let's make some flavor. We need yeast, which is a live organism, of course. You can have dried yeast if you use dried yeast. If the recipe says, for example, 20 grams of fresh yeast, if you use dried yeast, you use only half of it because dried yeast is stronger. These yeast cells also like sugar, and I'm gonna warm the milk just slightly, just a little bit, not too long, because it should be slightly warmer maybe than your finger is, but not too warm because you will kill the yeast cells. And then you just make a combination of the flour together with the milk. And kneading a dough is something wonderful because you are really into the product. Salt is kind of an enemy of yeast. It's like a sunblock for the sun. So if you sprinkle salt on top of yeast, the yeast doesn't work that well. So I always be sure that the salt is not directly in contact with the yeast. Some olive oil is nice, especially for this bread roll. Just use your fingers, you don't need a bowl. I never like to use any bowl. This is great, thanks so much. Some sugar. Thank you. Because a bowl will, if you mix in a bowl and you're kneading, the bowl will go everywhere. So you can use your hands better with this, and you try to get more and more flour inside your milk. The mixture will be nice and muddy, but the feeling is so wonderful. Huh? To make a dough, it's a really clean work because everything that's on your table eventually ends up inside your dough. So you always end up with a clean table again. We just finished. If you try to roll this out, it will be too elastic and it's difficult to roll out. And here we have the same dough which is proofed for an hour. We made this 1 hour ago. It's chilled, but doesn't that feel like a pillow? It's really, really soft. And now you just need some flour and a rolling pin. I'm just gonna roll this out gently. And rolling is rolling and not really pressing. Sometimes you see people press so hard, the dough will stick on your table. So, and this is pure love what you do, of course. Yeah? So you really need to turn it and to roll it to all the sides. Only then you keep the shape of your product when it's baked. Same with puff pastry. So this is big enough now. Then I'm gonna egg wash this. This will be the bread sticks or the bread loaf to accompany the soup. This is a wonderful recipe to make that everybody loves, with a very nice cheese flavor. And the egg wash is everywhere. I already have some cheese from the kitchen, and we will add the Gouda to it too. You can do this with any cheese you like. I mean, sometimes I use the Swiss cheese. It depends on what kind of flavor you like, but use a lot of cheese. And then I'm going to use some paprika. This paprika is roasted, and I know that Serbians like the roasted paprika. This recipe originally was made with fresh paprika, because then you have more bite. You know, more freshness. But the chefs here were so kind to prepare this roasted paprika for me. And it adds, of course, some drama, nice color. It's also a little bit makeup, of course. Some spices. And maybe we could even call this the Belgrade mix. I mean, some dried oregano, thyme, paprika powder,
and pepper.
some pepper, some more paprika powder, some more oregano, and a little bit of salt. Oops. Yeah? Just mix this together. So this is to spice it up, of course. And now I just roll it up. Do you all have a good view? Thank you. It's fine. Thank you very much.
Okay.
A nice roll. Okay. Take this on a baking tray. Yeah, like this. Cut it open for, let's say, 3/4. Sure. You just spread it out. You see, and this is a nice loaf. And when you bake this in the oven for, let's say, 20 minutes, it'll nice and crunchy. It looks very rustic. You have the beautiful flavor of the cheese, the color of the paprika, nice spices. It goes beautiful with soup. It's also a great lunch bread for any occasion or on a buffet. And I prefer to present it in whole on a chopping board, and people can have their own slice. And it even looks good unbaked. I mean, huh? Yeah.